Welcome back to the hyperbolic gaming chamber. This is a chamber designed explicitly to stamp out games. We would like to become the assembly line of game development. If the game takes longer than 2 weeks, it's cut. If the game is actually fun, it's cut. If the game does not squeeze out every drop, every milliliter of salary from the players, it's not good. So basically, we're trying to make Genshin Impact. So, that's the goal. The game must it has to be fun, but we're trying to go with a very abstract perception of the word fun, right? Is driving fun? Some people enjoy driving. There's something about the goal is to make engaging simulations. One of those simulations right now, which is the funnest simulation one can truly have and experience on this planet, it's typing. So it doesn't get much better than actually typing. So that's just a segue into the game we're making. The game we're working on is a typing game, and hopefully it can be high octane, anticipatory. You'll be constantly on the lookout for things that can happen. But we're really still in the prototyping phase. But hopefully it should be better. I've been in some deep chats with Chat GPT to really take apart why games work and why games don't work. So, and it actually has been pretty helpful. So I think ChatGPT is slept on as a tool for just bouncing ideas off of. And although it hallucinates a lot of answers frequently, we hallucinate answers as well. And hallucination maybe is just a fancy way to say creativity. So ChatGPT is just guessing what to put next, similarly to how I'm guessing what to say next as well. So maybe that works, but it's been really useful to pretty much take apart some ideas when I'm thinking about stuff. Where I'm like, why does this game work? Why does this mechanic not work? Or stuff like that. And although the answers aren't always good, you can prompt it to be more specific, give site-specific examples. And yeah, it's been really helpful. So I'm going to continue with that method. And yeah, ChatGPT is the future. I really wish someone would just put a voice thing on it so I can just be like, hey, Jarvis, or hey, Solaris or something, and it'll just give me the answer. But that being said, this is the game so far. And you can see that the mobile aspect ratio is already in play here. And it's going to look the same way on PC. It is what it is. But there's some better visibility. There's enemies are of different sizes now because the screen real estate we have to work with in the game is not very large. And yeah, there's different speeds. The playback system isn't in yet, but I needed the different enemies to be in first before it would be even possible to add that. So that being the case, this version is much more fun. There's a lot more interesting things going on, I think, and it should be more fun as we swap out the assets, because this is definitely one of those games that's made by the experience coming together, I think, because it really is just a vehicle to type, and I think the goal is just to make typing feel cool. And I think people already enjoy typing. The people who like typing games, at least. So I think that will be the thing going forward. And yeah, the question is, do people like typing on mobiles? That's probably not true. So we'll have to see where this all goes. But I'm actually pretty happy where it's going so far. So we need to add some more enemy types. Maybe vary the speed a little bit. And then we can add a disengagement. Because right now, once you start trying to kill something, you can't stop killing it. And so the goal after that would just basically be you can stop. And you can just start something else. Start killing something else maybe by pressing space. Right? The other issue is that there's a real visibility issue. This is fixed by the units being smaller. And also not being so block-like. And then I think once we add a couple more things, it should be good. So I guess the goal of today's session Either we'll work on the playback system. We fixed a lot of bugs yesterday, like two, maybe 3 hours in. Either work on the playback system for the levels, or work on the playback system for the levels, or we could work on word visibility. But word visibility kind of seems tied to word visibility kind of seems tied to the assets. So we can do playback system, word visibility. The words now have a thing around them, which helps as well, but it's also kind of strange as well. And I think there should probably be a little bit of variability in the speed. And I think to do that, we could probably use a Gaussian or a bell curve or a normal distribution of where, we'd like speed to be at. And they would each start at basically a different mean. If we did that, I think we'd have a lot more variability in the speed at which the words come down, which would be useful for making the gameplay a bit more anticipatory, but also every run wouldn't exactly be the same. But so I think we'll do a shorter session today, and then maybe we will just work on the recording system. I don't feel like it makes sense to work on word visibility until there's a better art style in place. But I don't really work on art during this. Oh, I know what we can do. We can add the stat system. So the stat system is the other thing that's important. We need a way to basically, this has to feel good. So it's a lot like Guitar Hero, where the gameplay is already kind of simple, but there are a lot of little meta games or sub games you can play within the game, like, for example, making sure you keep your accuracy up is something that people do during Guitar Hero, which is kind of fun. So that's definitely something I'd like to add here. But I'd like to change it as well, so the higher you keep the words per minute, as well as how accurate you're being, will allow you to your projectiles to type faster, which also level up your character and pretty much allow you to shred. So the whole game is basically going to be a power fantasy, and what's fun is typing faster and faster every time. So the game mechanics, I feel like, all have to shove you down this narrow path. So that's what the goal is. I think we're going to aim for the stat system, actually. So I think that's what I'm going to aim for. So that is what I'm going to aim for today, and then we're going to start the timer. Then, yeah. So what I'm thinking is the stat system is going to work under the hood, and what we'll have is a representation of it as a node in the scene, and that'll be like its visual layer. But I definitely do think this is something that should be handled underneath the hood. So the first thing there is going to be, I probably need to work on these folders a little bit. I don't think Stat Manager is the best name for it. we can call it typing metric typing metrics calling typing analyzer .js, because that is what it's going to do. So what we're going to have is var typing analyzer is equal to new function, and this is basically what we're going to have. And one thing we're going to want to make sure to do is make sure that our script loading order is correct. Hopefully this has been synchronized properly. And perfect. And the other thing that I'm gonna make sure this is gonna be slightly coupled to how do we measure accuracy? Well, if you're typing a word, you're focused on a word. Well, I guess this would actually have to do with typable manager, right? If your typable is selected, right, and you can receive the key, right, presumably there's a hit here. Right? There's a successful hit here. So your accuracy has to be pretty much your attempts. So if you did 20 attempts at the field goal and 20 goals, your accuracy would be 50%. So I'm thinking what we can actually do here, I was just going to choose to have some sort of data layer instead, but maybe we actually just should make some sort of typing analyzer. But this could still just be an analyzer. There could still just be one, and nodes could just use it, right? Because we could say PC, right, dot app, right, dot on, just the PC dot app though. We'd say key attempted right, and we could just, for now, we can just have an arrow function. We can just say attempted keys attempted, right, is equal to 0 to start. Keys success is just a strange. We have keys attempted, and you'd have key success, or letter attempted, right? And we'll have letter success. And then instead of we don't have an update loop, so I'm just going to create a set interval that is literally just going to do the work of every 100 milliseconds. It's just going to tell us what our accuracy is. First thing is just going to have to be that this dot letter attempted, this dot letter success can't be 0. Or it might just be easier to write if not, or not letter success, right? We'll just return. And then what we'll do in here is just console.log accuracy is just going to be this dot letter attempted divided by this dot letter success. And then we'll say pc dot app that on key attempted we'll say this dot letter attempted plus equal 1, and then we'll pass in this, and then in the typable manager, right, if the typable is selected, if you're if you're out here, you're basically just saying you're trying to hit something, right? So we can just say this dot app, right, dot fire, and that's it. So if we load this back up and load up the console, I'm currently getting nothing. We should be getting something from the typing analyzer. Oh, and I think what we want to do actually is do that. Or maybe not. Oh, wait, right. So actually this could be working. In fact, I think it is. If I uncomment this part, right, so accuracy is now none. Okay, so that's good. So it was not printing on purpose, which was good. And then now the other thing we would like to do is actually just type. So we say, oh, colon, key attempted. Right. Wait a second. you attempted and you have no successes, right, it would be your successes it would actually be your successes over your attempts. And then what we'll just make certain is that letter that attempted is not empty. Right? So now my accuracy would be 0. Zero divided by 1. Right now I just need to get some successes in there. Right? So if it can receive the key, right? And these are actually very confusing. It might just be simpler to say letter attempt letters. We'll just say letters hit. How about that? Say letters attempted. Letters attempted. Letters hit. We'll add another one. We'll say letters hit. Let's see, letter attempt. So we should be seeing our accuracy $100, right? And then we'll say the whole thing dot to fixed, right? And we'll say 1. Something is wrong. So for some reason, we have typing analyzer letter hit, letter attempt. Letter hit, letter attempt. I'm going to remove this to fixed part and see if this whole thing fixes itself. saying our accuracy is 50. Okay. Now if we say to fixed, right? So we can make it go down, and we can also make it go up. It's actually really hard with the screen being this small. Okay, I think this is working. Yeah, there's a version that I'm using to simulate the text on the screen that is messing this up. So I'm going to turn this off real quick. And I think it should be under the player. That will just use the regular keyboard inputs, as that one is bugged. And this is much better. Yeah, there's a couple of things we need to fix. And we definitely don't want our accuracy to be... It depends, right? When you play Guitar Hero, your accuracy is the accuracy for the whole thing. And I don't know, something about Guitar Hero, when you are playing and your accuracy goes down from 100 and it's like, oh, the best you can do now is like 85. That kind of sucks. So maybe we should do accuracy of the last like 40 keys. And it doesn't have to update that often, because this is like blowing up. And then there's also something in mobile controller which is like constantly printing to the console. We'll remove that as well. Oh, right, I forgot. If we reparse this, this is actually gone. So we should... This is 39. No, it's 32. And okay, now the regular version is broken. What is going on? Now nothing is loading for keyboard controller. Also, I just realized I messed this part up. Or if you're not mobile, I would like to use the mobile keyboard. If you're not mobile, yeah, I think we need to just bring this back to how it was before. Yeah, it kind of feels like we just broke. I'm not even getting the initialize here. So something like, I don't know what's up with my script. Oh, I turned it off. Oh, brother. I think if we could put the accuracy on the screen, that would be dope. We got sidetracked trying to fix this nonsense, and I also should commit because it's hard to see the changes that I'm making everywhere. But we do at least have the accuracy coming up. We say something like keys considered, it could be the last 50 or so keys. So total keys considered for accuracy, we'll just say it's 50 keys. I'll say if, I also need a function to just get the accuracy. I think we're just gonna copy basically we're just gonna copy what we have here, and we'll just say if this dot letters attempted equals 0, then we return 0, right? Otherwise, then we just want to return pretty much what we wrote here. You can just say const acc equals this dot get accuracy, and we can just swap this out and say if. Actually, no, it doesn't really matter. We'll just say print the accuracy, and then we'd like to reset, right? But only, once you actually mess up. So if we do on letter attempt, probably should do something like letter we'd like to retain your accuracy at 100 if you're already at a. Actually, no, it doesn't matter if you're. If we actually no, we'd like to retain it. So I get accuracy equals 100. If it doesn't equal 100, doesn't equal 100, then we'd like to now get 100. We'd like to now start. We'd like to set this. This dot letters attempts equal this dot keys considered. Then we'd like to say dot letters attempted equals 0. This dot letters hit also equals 0. And in fact, what we'll do is, in regards to accuracy, if you have nothing hit yet, we'll return 100. Or we'll return 0. Alright, if I hit P, I should have 100. Alright, I'm doing. Yeah. Degree, yes, like, guess. Right, now my accuracy is back at 0 again. Okay, so I think this does work. We just need to get this on the screen, and then, yeah. So I think we'll stop there for now.